I couldn't be another victim of they slaughter. Trying to think that being different means murder. Like they know me, I wish that they knew me. Like, whoop, my feelings got me going all the way. Yeah. The strength of my curve got me on the way. Get down, 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 down. Yeah. Drop top when I'm rolling, they staring hard.
Thank you for tuning in to Luminary Sounds. It's your musical artist, Junior Leto.
It's your musical enthusiast, Francois the Great.
And creative fanatic, Kate Don't Play.
And normally we start off the show with a energetic response and feel, but we are in mourning for our dear beloved Kobe Bryant. Yes. And I think it's
only right.
It's only right that we have a moment of silence, and we got our candles lit for that.
Definitely.
And, we want to
do
give
8 seconds, definitely.
Let's go 8 seconds with it.
Rest in peace, Kobe.
Yeah, rest in peace. And that's really tough, you know. So the mood is a little somber here at Lion City Studios, Luminary Sound, but we will get through it because that's the Mamba mentality.
Exactly.
That's right.
Absolutely. So, besides everything that's happened this week with Kobe, did you have a good week still?
I had a good week. My week actually started off on a hike on Sunday. Miss K Don't Play.
I heard about the hike.
He did a great job.
I thought I was going to die.
Well, let me tell you, I knew you were going to die when I seen you with them sweatpants on. It was super hot.
Right.
So why this man got on these sweatpants in the mountains, going to burn himself up? Now, you're already Coco Brown now, so I don't know how dark you want to get out here.
We went earlier. We went at like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Y'all both Coco Brown.
Yeah, no. Yes,
but she was fit. Well,
no,
Kay ain't like to be damn near naked out there.
No, I had on a blanket.
Y'all,
pause.
I can't go out there with y'all.
Pause. I had on a blanket and a sweatshirt.
Did you hear that, folks? A blanket.
But then I took it.
She had her speaker. We were jamming.
Yes, it was fun.
We were jamming, and I was dying.
So what was it like? Like you brought him out there, and
we didn't know that he was gonna come. We had already started, and then he called me while we were like almost halfway through, and he was like, "I'm here." I was like, "What? You should have called me yesterday."
Really? Okay.
Man,
but he caught up to us.
They was like, "Just jog down the hill. We're over here." I'm jogging. I still don't see
where
them.
They at?
Then I get down there. Francis! I don't even have energy to jog no more.
Right. Listen, your energy was like my boy Trump say, low energy. Low energy, man, because at the end of the day, what's that little video where like the screen, like
the boomerang?
Boomerang, okay.
Boomerang.
You didn't even look at the camera. You were just like this with your head backwards. I said, man, this man is tired.
They all made it to the top, so that's all that matters.
Well, congratulations on the hike, sir.
Look, and salute to the dog that came with us, man, because I said if this dog can make... Squishy.
Whose dog is that?
My friend Bailey.
Her friend Bailey's dog.
Squishy.
Look, we got up one hill, that dog thought he did something. Then we got up another hill, this dog said, look, y'all need to stop playing.
Come on, man.
Stop playing.
Come on, poor dog. What kind of dog is it?
It was fun. I don't know. It was like a mixed breed.
A big dog?
Yeah, it was a big dog.
Okay.
It was a big dog.
Some water for the dog?
Yeah, we did.
We had some water for the dog.
All right, good. Water, the dog's getting taken care of.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
And then right after that, my week was pretty good. It's of course it was very somber, like you said.
Yeah.
I'm not here in Ventura. Of course, I'm in Sherman Oaks. So it was very somber. And it was very tough.
I do want to ask you, where were you at when you first heard the news?
So I just had got home, and I was going to take a nap. Because, of course, we got up early. And I said, I'm going to take a nap. And I got a text message from Jazz, and then I got a text message from you. I saw your text message, and I thought it was a lie.
Oh, so you got, when I texted you,
you called me first, and then you text me.
Right.
And I saw your text. And I said, I gotta call this man back because I know you don't just say anything.
I thought
like
you
that.
heard the news.
No, I was lying down. I was about to just pass out and sleep. So it was tough. I was at home.
Wow.
I didn't believe it when I first seen it either. I
Where
was
were
with
you at? How'd you hear?
I was in LA with a few of my friends, and we were all sitting there, and one of the girls, she was like, "Wait, is this real?" But then as we kept on looking, like we were like, "Nah, this is real."
Yeah, it's really sad. You know what I'm saying? And
how about yourself?
I mean, I was watching the Aaron Hernandez documentary with Carissa.
That has been an interesting documentary. I've seen.
We should talk about that.
We
should
definitely
talk about
do.
that.
We will.
But I'm sitting on the couch and she's like, "No way." Her brother hits her up, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And then she says, "Kobe Bryant, plane crash." And it's like, "No, stop." And I look immediately when I look, the publications is coming out.
Wow.
So many publications. So
awful.
it's tough out there for people. And I think the only thing that I could say to give any type of healing would be like just the Mamba mentality, man. To just go out there and do your best at all times.
Everything.
Strive through every endurance that you have and just give it your all.
Now, I will say, just last night, I did find time to go out to the memorial over at the Staples Center.
Right.
And when I tell you, I've never seen anything quite like that.
Yeah.
It was just unreal. I mean, you have flowers, you have sneakers. People are just leaving their Kobe's. People are leaving jerseys.
They're leaving their shoes out there.
Just leaving their shoes out there. Just, the man was loved. From
And he has such an
all
impact on
around,
everybody.
and such an impact. Definitely, we all got to develop and carry on that Mamba mentality.
I feel really bad for the kids and
too.
most importantly the family, Vanessa and the children and what they're going through. So, we got to keep them in prayer.
Definitely.
And I'm just happy that the support from Los Angeles and around the world has been so impactful that it can try to help the healing process.
Yes, definitely.
So, I don't know whose phone is
Right,
going off over here. But hit it on the take the ringer off. What you ordering pizzas over here? So no, but yeah, it's been crazy. But besides that, like
My week was good. It was stressful because I'm in school, so it's a little stressful, but overall it was
doing your
good.
T accounts?
Huh?
How stressful it is. She don't even know what the T accounts are.
Exactly, I'm not there yet.
She's like, what are T accounts?
Wait.
Yeah, so she's on her accounting though. So, but I do want to say, Francis will be going to the Screenwriters Guild Award pretty soon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome. And how'd that come about?
It came about, we got a mail inquiry from Cheryl Aronson, who actually works closely with a friend of ours at the Oxnard Jazz Festival.
Chuck Dennis.
Chuck Dennis.
Cool. Yeah.
So she actually does interviews at different award shows, and it's actually the Writers Guild Awards. She's actually one of the people that actually do interviews and takes photography. She's a photographer.
Is this your first time doing
This is my first
This
time
is his
actually
first time
doing this. So
breaking
this
it
is
in.
Nice.
This is going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to it, and it's going to be fun because we've actually worked with Cheryl before, but in a different dynamic. Yeah.
Okay,
so
cool.
This is going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Because Kay don't play and Cheryl don't play either. Cheryl don't play either.
Cheryl does
I like people that don't play.
I remember we were at the Oxnard Jazz Festival, and Jasmine, she's in the back. You guys can't see her on camera,
Yes.
but we couldn't get that plate for nothing.
No, we couldn't.
We couldn't get that plate for nothing. So her and her guy Max, it was really hard out there. But that's another subject.
Yeah. So I mean, I look at it like this. We always do our music reviews here on Luminary Sounds.
Yeah, who we got up?
So today we have a new artist. And I hope I'm saying your name right, Mylezia.
That's a good attempt, Mylezia.
Yeah,
Okay.
better than what I was.
If I'm wrong, please DM me. Don't hate me. I love your music.
Yes, me
She
too.
has a beautiful EP by the name of Issues. Now, I want to start with Kay, and then I'm going to come over to you, my man, Junior.
Okay.
Kay,
I'm pulling her up.
definitely.
Pulling her up right now.
Let me know some of your thoughts on what you give her on the rating.
Rating wise, I'd give her a 5, and she gave me a Summer Walker vibe.
Nice.
You give it a 5.
Yes,
Are
a
you
5.
when you say 5? Are you rating the artist a 5 or the album a 5?
The album.
You rated a
album.
5.
Like,
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what were some of your favorite tracks? Like one or two of them.
Exclusive, which was track 4.
Ooh, that was
and
fire.
Can't Trust Your Smile, which was track 6.
Okay.
Yes.
What about
She
you,
has
sir?
a unique voice too,
Yes.
which I liked.
I do like
Summer Walker vibes. Yeah.
She does. She has a unique. I will say her voice is very unique. I will say that when I hear her music in the future, I'm going to know it's her.
Right.
Because her sound, she has a very unique voice. I will say that I really enjoyed the Daddy Issues song.
Daddy Issues is good.
Yeah.
Track number 5, Daddy Issues is a good song.
And then track number 2, I can't remember the name of it.
How Does It Feel?
How Does It Feel?
Yeah.
That is a hit. Please, Mylezia.
Is it better than Boring?
Boring is a good song, but something about that How Does It Feel track, I'm telling you, I'm not an A&R nobody, but I'm a fan.
You rolling with
That's
it.
that track.
You rolling with it. Okay.
I would give you a solid 4.
Okay.
Because I know that right now you've probably been in the game for some time, I'm not sure, but I just know that with the voice that you have, it's just very unique, and I really like to see more from you. Right now, I'm just looking off of you with 7 songs or 8 songs that I've heard.
Right.
So I'm just able to just critique off of just the small, the little that I've heard.
Okay.
But I think I definitely am going to say a 4 because your upside to where you're going to go, Mylezia, is just... It's going to be great for you. Continue doing what you're doing. I'm looking forward to seeing visuals from you.
Yes.
I don't know
Me
if
too.
she's a beautiful lady.
She is.
There's any music videos out?
I don't know.
I think there was one,
there
but
one?
it wasn't any of
So
the
just
songs
not a
that
lot
was
of
off of
visuals,
it.
right?
Yeah,
not a lot of visuals, but I'll say a 4, and I'll turn it over to you, my man.
Well, I mean, I would say I would give her. I don't want to be harsh here.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not going with a 5.
The Gene Cisco to
I'm
my
not
Roger
going 5. Only Beyonce's get 5 over here. I do not give everybody a 5. I will say that she is a talented artist for sure. She did give me some of the Summer Walker vibes.
Okay.
I give you that.
Okay.
But for me, I would give it a 4.
Why a 4?
Well, I would give it a 4 because I felt like majority of her songs, they sounded the same. I didn't hear anything from her that was this is what I thought was different. Exclusive was a different sound.
Exclusive is a different
Exclusive
sound.
was a different sound, and Boring was a different sound.
Okay.
So with those 2 songs, and she used the song Boring was actually the song Tupac. I can't remember the song. You Can Run the Streets with Your Thugs or whatever.
Yes, that's the towards the end of the album.
Yes.
I like that too.
So
that was very
she's
different.
taking that melody from that. So I
Yes.
appreciated that. The shout out to Tupac using that melody. But Boring and Exclusive, it just showed me that if she stays and does songs that are different, she can really have a complete album.
Definitely.
And so definitely I give her a 4.
I actually thought on that Tupac track she was gonna start rapping.
Right.
She
I
did
was
sound like she
surprised
was
because
about
I was
to.
like, man, is she gonna rap?
She's good. She's
Yeah.
good. And for her to be this good, this young at this time, I
Yes.
mean, the
She's
sky's
a
the
lot.
limit for her.
Exactly.
So I can't do the 5K. I do a 4
I
is a
give
good
you a
album.
5.
4 is a really good, strong album. You give it a 4 as well?
I gave it a 4 as well.
Okay, well, hey, that's good.
Yeah,
We
that's
do
good.
encourage people to go check it out. How do you pronounce her name again?
Mylezia.
Mylezia.
And I hope I'm not
we
wrong.
hope we saying that right.
hope I'm saying it right.
So check out Mylezia. And
Issues.
Yes, the song called Issues.
It's
Absolutely.
Album called Issues. Now y'all ready for some facts?
Yes. I'm ready.
Francois facts. Now I got some really cool ones for y'all.
Oh my goodness.
I enjoy it.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
on this date, we going back to 1994.
Okay.
The Wu-Tang Clan dropped the single. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money.
It's a
Dollar
classic,
bill,
it's a classic.
y'all.
Hey, he's gonna be on Luminary Plays later, guys.
Look,
He's gonna be on Luminary Plays doing his
Right.
own rendition. So we appreciate that.
Stay tuned.
Looking forward to that.
and then in 1989, on this day, I know we're in the West Coast, so I had to do it for my West Coast players because I'm an East Coast person. So of course, I did some for the East Coast Wu-Tang.
Okay.
But Too Short dropped his second album, Life Is, and of course he had the song Too Short. So 89 on this day. Can you believe Too Short second album? He's probably at like 11 and 12 albums by now.
Maybe
now.
more than that. I mean,
Right.
Too Short.
Amazing.
I can't listen to Too Short no more.
Why?
I have a stronger relationship with Jesus. I can't be listening to Too Short no
You can't
more.
listen to them twerk
I respect
records,
what he
them twerk
did,
records.
though. I respect what he did, though. You know what I'm saying? I can't play
Right.
that with my babies.
Look, he be making them club
Yeah,
anthems.
no, not for
Yeah,
the baby.
he do. Yeah,
Not for the baby.
absolutely.
No,
Blow
but-
the whistle, though.
Blow the whistle.
I still roll with blow the whistle. Blow the whistle is a banger still.
Man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's all for Francois Facts.
Okay.
Okay, and for my segment, I have a little bit something different or different questions for you guys this time. They might need a little bit of an explanation or story time. The first question is, have you guys ever lied to impress a crush?
See, you see how she almost messed up?
Have we ever lied to impress a crush?
Yes.
Yeah.
And well, okay, so what was the lie? So what was the lie?
And she lying too. You be lying too, girl. Everybody lied to impress somebody. I think when you meet somebody, you put on your best attire and you don't give them any of your flaws.
Okay, no. So what was like if you look back at that time, what was like one of the corniest lies that you could have?
Corny lie.
Wow.
That goes with me.
Jeez.
Corny. But that's tough. What about you?
That's you know what? This is a good one.
That's a good one. 'Cause
I'll
I'm
probably
stammering
say.
right now.
Okay, I'll probably say this.
You thinking of your lie? That's the lie.
This one was funny.
Okay.
It actually worked in my favor because not knowing the girl knew the guy that was my roomie, and they went to high school together and they were homies.
That's why you don't lie.
So the funny thing was, you know,
Stop.
for me, I'm like 18 years old.
Okay.
Nonsense, kids don't do this. It just wasn't good. So I meet this girl, everything's cool. We go back to my place, and I'm like, yo. She's like, this is your spot? This is just you?
Oh,
What do you say to the guy? This is me. Now, this fool had to pee in the middle of the night.
Oh my god.
The bathroom,
It's getting a little nasty now.
the bathroom is in the middle of the hallway, so obviously it's not a situation where he has his own bathroom.
She's
in
like,
his
why
room.
is this random person?
So of course she's just like, who the hell is this? We're watching a movie. This guy randomly comes out of his room and just messes everything up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So-
That's your fault though.
But
Right.
it was cool because then when he came back, he said her name. She was like, yo, I haven't seen you forever. How's everything going? It worked out for me. Thank
worked
God.
out.
But I was sitting there. I was on the couch like,
Like,
looking crazy.
looking crazy.
Now I have something similar, and like you said, 18. So it
Yeah.
brings me back to when I went on prom, and my friend, my boy David Kellum. Shout out to David Kellum.
Shout out to
We go to
David Kellum.
prom. We in Mississippi. We pick these ladies up in Slidell, Louisiana. So we think we balling. We going to another state to get the
You had the cufflinks?
We going to another state.
oh my god.
Shining, sun shining. So anyway, we pick him up. The night was great. We go to his spot, and the girls, they were like, "Oh, is this where y'all stay? This is not our house at all." We're like, "Yeah. We stay here all the time. Yeah, we stay here all the time." You know, the parents allow us to stay here during the week or whatever. So we live on our own. So they was really impressed by that. Well, man, guess who came home? The parents came home.
Of course.
They came home. What y'all doing up in this house? It was pretty embarrassing.
Just blew up your spot.
Yeah, and you know what? It never worked out.
It never worked out.
She didn't call us back after that. She
Of
knew
course,
we was
because y'all
lying.
lie. Right.
'Cause we did the big lie. Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah. Mine was as bad as yours.
Okay.
It was
simple.
What about you? I know you didn't lie.
When I was 18, I used to lie
You know
about
it's
my
good 'cause she
age
looking at the
a
ceiling.
lot.
You used to do what?
Lie about my age a lot.
What?
Because I would attract older guys, so I didn't want to be like,
But I gotta-
oh, well, I'm 18, so I'd be like, oh, I'm 21, 22, but I was 18.
I got a question.
Trying to
though.
get somebody locked up in here.
Well, 18 is grown, but...
You gotta be 21 because you want to drink and you really trying to get him in trouble.
No, but you
Kawea
know-
was drunk.
But she brings up something I've always just thought and asked, because when you go out as a guy and you're younger,
Yeah.
girls get in regardless from what I see, even if they're 18 or they're 21.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
I kind of feel like it's one of those dynamics where ladies can just, it doesn't matter, because especially if you're good looking and you carry yourself well,
Right.
they don't care. I mean,
Kawea's cracking up laughing at you like, what
Right,
is
so
this
where
guy
are you going?
talking about?
I'm saying like for ladies to lie about their age, my point is I don't feel that there's a need to, because
Well,
a lot
no,
of times,
yeah.
you know, ladies are gonna get in. Like,
And like typically
I was
guys
talking-
are older
Yeah,
anyway. They
yeah.
yeah.
yeah, but you were talking about trying to
Dating-wise.
date and
Yeah,
dating-wise.
dating-wise.
Yeah.
So you lied
If they
so
were
you
like
had to try to get
25,
it?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't want to be like, oh, I'm 18, so I'll be like, oh, I'm 22.
He like wet behind the ears. Let me drop
4
her back.
years up? Gonna get people locked up in here.
Yeah, but
And-
no. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
My second question is kind of like the first one, but
Okay.
what's something embarrassing that you've done in front of a
Oh, my
crush?
Something
In front of a
embarrassing
crush.
In front of a
Yes.
crush?
Yes.
Oh God.
That's a tough one.
For
So
me,
many
I guess
embarrassments.
I'll start off. I drove over. You know how in the parking lot they have like the little dividers. I was walking out of a restaurant. I was not presentable that day, but there was a really cute guy. And I got in my car, of course, trying to be cute, turned on my music and stuff, and went right over the little divider thing in the parking lot.
Jasmine is back there dying laughing right now.
He was so cute, but I was not prepared to see anybody
so
cute
cute.
that
Making
day.
mistakes
I
over
was
here.
not prepared. I was like, well, and I just kept going.
Mine just came to my mind.
Okay.
It was not good. So this is actually middle school.
Oh my God.
So middle school, I don't know.
Going deep.
Right,
I had to go back. So like we used to have these roller skating little dances. I don't know if there was anything like that, where you guys were from. So we had this place called the Skylight.
Was this at Atlanta?
No, this is in Massachusetts.
Okay, all right.
So there's a place called the Skylight. I know Jasmine may know where it is. And she may know.
She's like, yes.
She's like, yes, I
Get
know.
on with it.
So there was this girl I just thought was the cutest thing.
Right.
And she ended up coming to the skating party that night.
He was ready.
And all the dudes, if you're cool, you skate backwards.
Oh, okay.
So I don't skate. But that night,
You
she was there.
today.
So I was like, I was trying to
That
show
day
her
was
something.
that day.
I tried to
that's
skate
pretty
backwards, wiped out.
Aw.
And see, the bad thing was there was really no one on the floor at all. So
all the attention was on
it
you.
was bad.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
bad.
that's embarrassing.
Aw.
That's embarrassing.
Like, hey, wait, mom, what she called him?
that one.
Chocolate drop? What she
Yeah.
called him? Oh, chocolate drop. Oh, that's so sad.
Remember that one?
Right?
It was good,
That was
man.
odd. That was
Very,
odd.
very good
Yeah,
questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
Well, tonight, of course, YouTube family, we do have the great musical Doc here.
Yes.
She will be in the house with us.
Absolutely.
We look forward to it. She has some great music,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going to actually have some new music for us too, as well.
Yeah,
That she's
okay.
going to be performing. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
So if you don't pretty much know, what do you guys pretty much like so far about the musical Doc? Let me say.
Melanin and Honey. I really like that.
Yes.
That song.
Melanin and honey.
Yeah, she had a little
Melanin.
swag.
Yeah, she had a lot of swag on that.
Some swag.
Ooh, she was going in on that one.
Right.
She started twerking and stuff.
Right.
I
I
was
was
like,
Dang,
like,
I'm
okay,
watching the
sis.
video. I'm like, this Indian lady is just really doing a lot.
I like
She
it.
is.
Doing the
Different.
most.
and then she
And
got,
you wouldn't expect that from her.
No, I
that's
wouldn't
why
expect that.
liked
That's why I
it.
can't wait to see her, and I'm going to
wouldn't.
be like, what made you write
What
that song?
inspired-
Who were you thinking
What-
about when you
right,
wrote
what
that song?
inspired that?
Right? Was he in the background of the video? Because you were
Right.
inspired.
Right.
Right? That's an inspirational song by the musical.
look, and then she comes right back and hits us with the sexy Nobody.
Right. Real
like-
sexy.
Nobody's
Real
my
sexy.
favorite.
Yes, I like
2019,
Nobody.
nobody's my favorite.
I do
Absolutely.
like Nobody.
Strangers is good too.
Strangers is
Strangers
good.
is a good record. So
Strangers is a good record.
yeah.
I like Nobody. Melanin and Honey.
I can't wait to talk to her
Oh,
about
I
that track.
cannot wait to talk to her, and she's doing just so many great things
Yeah.
in this
Right.
community. I'm wondering actually where she's from. I know she's from somewhere here in the state of California. Just not sure yet.
No,
but
she's actually
we'll get into all of that.
she's actually a first generation American. Like
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So her family, I did my research on her. She
Awesome.
came over here with a family,
Nice.
very musically talented family.
Okay, cool. That's what I was gonna ask. What inspired her to pursue
Like her,
that?
That's awesome.
from her mother, her brother, her father. So you know,
Nice.
we're gonna talk about that when she comes on the show. She will be here shortly.
Yeah, she will be
and,
here
we look
shortly.
forward to that. We are back,
Yes,
and
sir.
the musical doc is here.
She is here, live and ready.
She done came in here singing notes.
She did.
Can I get your cup?
Hey, come on now.
Absolutely.
It is a Friday
It
night.
is a Friday night. And that's the only way we could do it. K-Way, I can't forget about you.
I gotta drive to LA, so not too much.
Okay,
Not
and
too
Francois the
much.
Great, where you
There
at?
you go.
Hey.
All right, okay. Now listen. Can you say what did you sing when you came up in here? What was that?
I just walked up in here like, the fun has arrived. Just saying.
That sounded beautiful.
That sounded so
Saying,
beautiful. I
you know.
do agree.
So let's get right into it.
Absolutely.
So let us know, where are you from, and how did you get involved in music?
Oh man, okay. So the genesis of the musical doc. So I am from Los Angeles, California. Shout out to the 562. That's where I was born and raised. What's up?
562?
What's up?
Is that San Gabriel?
Nah,
He said,
know.
no.
That's like
No, it ain't.
I
It
don't
ain't no
know.
San Gabriel.
That's like, I mean, it's kind of like in the middle of Orange County and LA County.
okay.
It's like
All right,
smack
all right.
dab right there.
Right in the middle.
So yeah, that was a little bit about where I came from. you know, music has always been like a very integral part of my upbringing as a human soul. I would say I come from a very musical background.
No, before you get into that.
Yeah.
Now I know your daddy played that vina.
You know
right.
what?
And
This is what I like.
And your brother played
That's what I
that. Your
like.
brother played that saxophone.
Y'all did some stalker shit.
We don't stalk your stuff.
Y'all did some stalker shit.
And your mama sing. Your mama sing.
Damn, okay, wait a minute. I sound basic as fuck now. I'm like, let me tell you about the Genesis. I come from a music. I'm like, wait a minute. They already know they some stalker shit. Hey, Luminary Sounds, y'all. They know.
That vina is an ancient instrument, right?
Yes.
That your daddy played.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what does it sound like?
So you know what? It's a string instrument. It's like a 4-string instrument, and it has like complementary like 3 strings to it as well.
Okay.
And it's like the fretboard is made out of wax.
Really?
Yeah. So they literally like carve the instrument from scratch from like an entire tree. So that entire instrument is carved from like one piece of wood.
So it's handmade.
Yep.
It's pretty beautiful, but it's not that big, right?
I mean, the OG ones were like pretty big, but now they made like these electronic versions where it's like you have like an amplifier and everything attached to it,
okay.
like a pickup, everything on it. So it's like, you know, it's kind of. It's travel friendly now. Let's just say
Okay.
that, you know, because
Okay.
people be traveling with it, playing and
So
jamming.
you come from that musical background.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I come from a very musical background. Like that was my upbringing. I came from a very, it was like traditional South Indian classical music. You know what I mean? So I came from a very conservative musical household and background. My parents both did like their PhDs and doctorates in music as well too.
Right,
So
right.
like growing up, I was always like this wild child, like running around like different music departments. Like, let me play these drums. Let me sing those languages. Let me do these dances. Like that was just me, like as like a, you know, a little, I don't know.
She came in like this. So this is not a facade.
No,
this is who
not.
she is. She's turned up like on a
Lit.
Friday.
Man,
Come
that's what
on
I'm
now,
talking
you know it is a Friday. I'll TGF. Thank God it's Friday.
That's
Thank
right.
God we're here
Absolutely.
today. You know, some amazing energy in here. So
Absolutely.
That's good. Your
We
energy
try to
is
bring the
great,
energy.
too.
Yeah.
y'all really did. I
We're
walked in.
trying to
I
match
felt
your
it.
energy,
I
but
felt it. I walked in here. I was like, man, chill. I'm feeling something.
this one right here. So I do have. We all have favorite songs of yours.
We do.
I'm gonna let K-Way take. What's your favorite song? Don't pick all 3.
And Honey.
Oh.
That like now meeting you in person, I'm like, okay, that's why she has that song.
Dripping melon in the honey.
Yeah, you starting to
I'm
you
like,
flowing
that's
on that
why.
on that joint.
I'm
though.
like, sis got swag. Okay.
Now you didn't bring your grill today.
Right.
Oh my God, y'all noticed that too?
You didn't bring your gold grill today. I'm like,
cry. My
we are
lashes
missing
don't come
that. Absolutely.
So what inspired that track?
A guy.
Wait a minute. No. Actually, hold on. I have a whole entire story behind
Okay,
it.
yes,
this
I
is
want to hear
great.
this.
So this is the thing, right? Like people be thinking just because, you know, like that my personality is very like I'm always up here. But at the end of the day, it's like if you have this, there's always like this element, right? And that's what brings your balance to this.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so like I feel like for me doing that song, like I really wanted to create this track that was like super now, like the visuals, everything was like popping, and people would relate
Beautiful
to it on a
video.
musical tip, right? Of what's now. But the message behind that was really like, you know, I've taught kids in India. I've traveled all over the world, and I feel like the issue of like skin color, darker skin tones, is a very real thing in so many parts of the world,
Right.
so many different countries. And I mean, like, I know how when I travel the world, how something like that really kind of, you know, it held back like kids and young women and even young men. And it was just something that I really wanted to address, to be like, yo, like, don't give a fuck. Embrace your skin, embrace your hair, embrace everything that makes you fabulous as fuck.
Amen to
absolutely.
that.
Period.
You know what I mean? Period.
YouTube, we did change the ratings for the children and the adults, so this is perfect.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. We did it for this particular reason.
So I mean, like, I just wanted to create something that really brought that message to light. It doesn't matter what cultural background you come from. It's something that's still very relevant in this time and age, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. But the more you talk about it, the more you embrace, hey, this is what the fuck it is, and this is how we're gonna uplift that. I mean, here we are, 2020.
Absolutely. Now you
Exactly.
said the kids in India, and
Yeah.
I have a unique question.
All right.
My neighbor, he's Indian. Their family. My
Yeah.
son loves their son. They, you know, when he goes outside, they play and stuff
Yeah.
together. But I always ask him. I said, "What did you think about the movie Slumdog Millionaire? What was your honest reaction?" And he told me something, and I want to see if you say the same thing that he
Okay.
says.
All right. So check this. Like on some real shit, right? Like I'm from LA. Okay, born and raised here, but I spent a lot of time living in different parts of the world and living in India. I went to med school in India.
Right.
I worked in a hospital setting in India. Like I went back to India to pursue my passion, and I lived there as an artist. So I feel like I've seen so many different sides of what that culture, country as a whole represents.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I think it's so easy to like kind of go from an outside perspective and go in and be like, oh my God, like this shit is like a madhouse.
Yeah.
But at the same
Right.
time, it's like anything going anywhere. It's like to really absorb the culture or like the vibrance of something, you gotta really kind of forget what you knew and kind of just take that in as a whole new like outlook of like, okay, I'm here. How am I gonna really absorb what this means?
Absolutely.
Right.
For sure,
You know what I
for
mean?
sure, for sure.
So like, I mean, yeah, there's elements in that movie that are totally 200% true.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
And anything in the movie that was 200% false?
I mean, like, it's still a movie. You got to have some sort of drama, don't you?
Right.
So it's like, I mean, there, 100%. Yeah, there's stuff that is true. There's some stuff that's a little dramatic.
Yeah.
You know,
Made for TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was pinpointing on the dramatics. He was like almost offended. by
Yeah.
it. He was like, bro, that's not like how it is in India. They don't. I was like, oh,
See,
really? Wow.
but that's my whole thing with that. It's like when I talk about any sort of culture, anything like that, like I don't take anything offense. People be saying some ill shit to me, and I'm like, all right, well, that's your opinion.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
I feel like whoever took that movie or whatever that was their perception of a story that they were trying to tell, and maybe their perception of what they saw when they went there.
Gotcha.
Like who am
That's
I to
fair.
sit here and be like, oh fuck that,
That's
oh,
very
da,
fair.
da, da. Like yeah, I've seen that.
Right.
I've seen that side of it, but I've also experienced the richness of the culture
Right.
and the richness of the land. And you know, I always say this. I'm like, I feel like my soul went through a metamorphosis when I went out there and I lived out there.
Right.
A lot of people won't understand that. They'd be like, "What the fuck? You went to, a developing country and you're coming back with that?"
right.
No, it's the truth.
Right.
You know, so it's like I just feel like you got to be open minded with
That's right.
whatever you're doing, and if you do that, you're living your best life.
That's good. That's
And
what's
that's
up.
all
What's
that
up?
matters.
Now, first of all, what was your favorite track?
I think my favorite track is Nobody. The
got
visual.
sexy.
You making her
Sexy
blush
on
over
that
here.
I mean, I know I got some pink blush on, but
I like
damn.
that track a lot. I like my track. And Peter, shout out to Peter.
Yay.
Peter did his thing.
Yay.
Peter Madonna.
Hey.
Peter Madonna.
Shout
That's
out
your
to
producer,
my-
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great-
that's one of the
great
producers
work.
I
Great
work
work.
with. Shout out to you, Peter Madonna.
Peter Madonna. Yeah. I like Strangers.
All right.
I like Strangers.
All
I'm a fan of
right.
I like
Strangers.
we all liked different.
We
we
all
all
like
like
different
different
songs,
songs.
but we all like all songs.
Yes.
I gotta tell you something.
Okay.
So when we seen, hey, we can possibly get the musical doc on here, I said, check out our music. Let me know what you do.
Yeah.
Because we can't have just anybody here.
exactly.
He said, book her. Bring her in. Book her right now. Hit her up right now.
Hey, I
was
appreciate that,
okay,
y'all.
I hit her right now.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
That was his
you're
energy. Get her right now.
Now.
Call her
Aw,
up. So, yeah.
shit.
It was funny. Now, you sent us your bio, and I read something really interesting. You kind of touched on it a little bit. You're a doctor.
Yeah.
So,
How do you balance that?
I don't practice
music.
medicine.
You don't practice
I don't
this?
practice
Okay.
medicine. Yeah. It was something where it was like there was a point in my life where I had to make a very vital decision as to, am I going to go in the direction of what I was told or what I kind of worked for my whole life, or am I going to go in the direction of where the hell I want to be and where I see myself and where I envision my talents and my assets as an individual, like the person behind the artist, really thriving.
Right. I'm sorry.
And so, I mean, this is not a joke to me. Music's not a joke. It's not something I do on the side or a hobby. Like, this is what I have chosen to do for my living, as an artist, as a creator, as a entrepreneur. Like, this is what I want to do, and I'm not going to half-ass that shit.
That's good. That's
You know what I
good.
mean?
So,
So-
where do you see yourself in the next 5 years as an artist?
Oh, man. Let me tell you. For me, the most important element is connecting. Right? So I want to make sure that I'm connected with myself, continuously connecting with myself. I want to make sure that I'm connecting with my audiences. And by connecting, I mean growing that audience, wherever that may be, wherever my travels, wherever my music may take me. I believe in connecting with the people that are really like listening to my story. Like what I try to put out there is just not, oh, you know what, this some like ass twerking shit. It's like I'm talking about some real shit. I've seen some shit. I've experienced some shit in my life, and I'm not afraid to put that in my music and in my story. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
So yeah, like I see myself really thriving in expanding my connectivity with myself and my external environment.
Okay.
And it's funny she mentioned connecting because we're glad we connected with you, and we have something for you.
Oh yeah, we do have something.
Oh, shit! I'm gonna put some sound effects in.
Call this
What?
Luminary Sounds. We
Luminary
want to get that
Sounds.
to you, and you can open that up right now. We
You
appreciate it.
guys, you're really, my lashes are coming off today for sure.
It's okay.
It's okay. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yo, this
We
is
think the
sick.
color fits you perfectly.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Hey, this matches the white pants and everything.
Absolutely,
today.
absolutely.
Look it up.
Yeah. Throw that on when you perform next.
Thank you
Yeah,
guys
there
so
you
much.
go.
I love it.
No, you're
Got
welcome.
a custom box and everything.
Yeah, that custom box there. It's custom.
It's custom.
It's custom.
You know we got that custom fit.
That's what's up. That's what's
Thank you
up.
guys
That's
so
what's
much.
up.
I
Welcome.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
but you know, we're not
Thank
done
you.
with you. I do want to have a question.
Yes.
The white coats and white coats to black notes
Yeah.
album.
Yeah.
Is that an album?
So that was that's actually my EP, like what I want to drop. I haven't dropped it yet.
Okay.
So all the content and everything I've been curating. When I say content, I mean like content musically, but also content beyond that. You know what I mean? Like what it's supposed to represent. And my whole thing with that was like, you know, the society that we live in, right? Like when I was doing medicine and I was doing all of this, like everybody thought I was good. Like, damn, like, okay, you chilling, sis. Like you live I had a doctor by the time I was like 23 years old.
So
You know what I
Lou,
mean? Thank you. I appreciate that. It was a lot of hard work. It was definitely a lot of hard work. And it was just kind of like, the thing was though, it's like there's so much more to life than what's seen and perceived on the outside.
Right.
And so for me, I was like, dang, okay, like everybody thinks that I'm straight chilling and living my best life, but I'm so miserable. Like I'm not happy doing this shit.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think there's a series of so many different events that happened in my life where I really hit this place of like rock bottom. And I feel like that place was, you know, it was the scariest place to be, but that's where my rising came from.
Okay.
It
And
was-
then music brought you back?
It really was. Like, I mean, when all that shit happened, I kind of basically put in my 2 weeks notice and I left the country for like 2 years.
Wow.
Man,
So-
that's some real stuff. She said 2 weeks notice.
Right.
2 weeks notice
And
out the
bye.
country.
Yeah, I didn't tell nobody. I was just like, I mean, because my brother was living overseas.
Yeah.
And he was like, I mean, he's in the music industry out in India and everything. He was like, yo, just come check it out, see what's up. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna do exactly that. So literally I went out to India. I would teach kids in like rural areas. I worked with Cambridge University. I went on tour. I worked with like different artists out there. Like I did Indian movies and stuff like that. So it was really, you know, I went to music classes again. I took music classes. I did meditation and like that's why I said it was a metamorphosis for my soul.
So what would you say is one
beautiful.
of your favorite places you've been able to visit thus far? I know. She's
I
like,
knew
why
this
is he
was gonna
asking
be a lot.
me?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Oh man, you know, how you gonna do me like this right now?
Top three.
All right,
Top three.
I'll tell you my top three.
Top three.
I would have to say one of my top places that I've visited that
Ventura.
you know what? Hold on, don't be banging on Ventura. I met some dope people in
That's
Ventura
right. That's right.
tonight.
Shout out to Ventura.
Okay, shout out to Ventura.
That's
Don't
right.
be talking. No, I ain't gonna bang on it. I would have to say one of my top places. I went to Japan. I went to Osaka, Japan.
Nice.
I just really liked how everything was so organized. Like you will not see anybody walking on the side of the street they're not supposed to be on. There's like no trash cans anywhere publicly or nothing. It's like very like I feel like they're very zen with like themselves and like their environment and like nature, which I really like that a lot. It's just very peaceful. Like I really liked it a lot.
Okay.
So yeah, Japan would be one. I would have to say I went to Medellin and Cartagena in Colombia. And that was really
nice.
dope because I just like the culture out there. You know what I mean? Like the hospitality, the culture. It's just very rich and beautiful. And
Right.
I just really liked it. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'd be going everywhere and all of a sudden I'm that culture, you know?
I know I want to visit Bogota,
Yeah.
but I haven't made it there yet.
All
so.
right.
Well, he's been everywhere.
There we go. There we
been
go.
everywhere.
There we go. You got to let me know when you go, though.
Oh, yeah.
Let me know.
I got you.
Let me know.
Got you.
The food is bomb, too.
I need to know where to go.
I'm vegetarian. That's the only thing.
okay.
So I might
You know what?
I'll be give you some veggie delights.
it's
You know what I
okay.
mean?
Veggie
Like
delights.
veggie delights.
Delights are good.
Actually,
I'll be ordering that at Subway too. Veggie delights sandwich.
Look, I had a vegan dinner tonight. So
Okay.
I'm working my way there.
You went on a hike.
Welcome to the best
We're
side.
gonna have some ribs later.
Exactly.
Now I know you love R&B and hip hop, right? But if you had to love it or kill it, which one? R&B, kill it, love it, or hip hop? You have to choose one. One lives, one dies.
Look how she look.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a meme. That's a meme right there.
My heart is like dropping.
I know
or
which
kill it.
one of them.
Like-
Which one of them? If I know you do both, but if you say I have to keep one and lose one, which one?
I can't.
She said she.
You have to.
I can't do this.
It's too tough.
All right, look. This is what I would say. I would keep the soul of R&B, and I would keep the hype of hip hop.
Hey, she answered
There's
that.
loopholes in life.
Yeah,
Good
answer.
answer.
I ain't killing nobody.
Sure.
You didn't tell me the details of how to answer that. I just said, wait a minute, I keep
Pretty
the soul
clever.
of something.
Very
Pretty clever.
You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Pretty clever.
Do
Pretty
a surgery for your shoulder, musical duck. We out here.
Yeah, there you go.
Is there somebody in the music industry that you look up to?
So when you say look up to, do you mean like I
That
would want to?
inspires your
Oh
sound?
yeah, absolutely. If I had the opportunity to work with like an artist that I really truly do admire, actually there's a few of these artists, but wait a minute.
It's okay.
I would love to work with Kendrick Lamar.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's good.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would love to work with.
LA.
I can see some. I can see
Yeah.
that.
I
too.
would. I just feel like, like I said, for me the most important thing is connectivity, and I feel like that's an artist that I would really connect with. As an artist, the person behind the artist, musically, lyrically, story-wise, like I just really like everything he represents, both as a musician, as an entrepreneur,
Right.
as an individual. I've watched so many of his interviews. Like it's just, I feel like that's someone I would really, really connect with and really enjoy creating with.
Right.
So,
right.
Kendrick, if you hear this,
Right,
Yeah.
shouts out to
I
Kendrick.
want to
Come
ask
on.
you. TDE, TMD collab.
You never know. You
Yeah,
never
you
know
never
who
know.
you're
That's
reach.
right.
You never
That's
know.
hey.
I got another question for you, and it's regarding that TMD Studios.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That is just.
You see the homework over here? We do the
This
homework.
is the dope, like real shit.
It
Wait,
is.
shout out to Luminary Sounds, because real shit, this
You
is the
heard it.
dopest
You heard it.
interview podcast I've done. They've done
heard
their
it.
research. They know what's up. Like, you know how sick this
Where's
is?
your cup,
Hey,
girl?
wait a minute.
Where's your cup,
Wait
girl?
a minute.
Yeah, go ahead and finish that. Finish
Pour it
that
up, pour it up.
Finish that speech. You need some more
Hey, wait a
champagne?
minute. Let's do a quick cheers.
good,
Let me
okay.
hold
I
on.
know you need
Cheers.
some, bro.
Cheers.
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 We doing
Hey. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Now finish that.
Yeah, so I know you're working with the kids. I'm
Yes.
not going to spoil it all. but
All right.
Talk a little bit about that, because I thought it was so inspiring.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So basically, TMD Studios, I'll keep it real with y'all, all right? So I feel like through my musical journey, and even before my musical journey, right? Like, I've always worked with kids. Like, I feel like it's just something whether I wanted to do or whatever. I've always worked with kids. Like I said, I taught kids in India. Like, growing up, I always saw my parents do the thing with, like, working with kids in their school and stuff like that. So I feel like it was just something that always just, like, it was a calling to me. Then, I mean, like, while I was pursuing everything with my music and everything, it kind of started off as, like, a side hustle. And let me tell you, I got a lot of side hustles.
We all do, don't we?
Right?
A lot of them, huh?
I got a lot of side hustles. All right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
So it really did. It started as something that was like a side hustle, and it just kept growing and growing. And I mean, eventually, like, I just think I kind of built a group of people around me, like a group of people that were really dope, that really believed in what, like, I would say we were doing. I can't say this is what I was doing. It was what we were collectively doing. Right. And so one thing led to another, and, it got I decided to make it official. So it's TMD Studios LLC, and it got registered.
LLC, I like that.
You know what I'll say.
LLC.
And it got registered with the state of California charter school system. So now kids can actually, that was one of my biggest things growing up. Like, people always be like, why do you want to do music? How's that going to help you in college? How are you going to go to, what are you going to do with, like, da 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 da. Well, here I am, bitches. Goddamn. So, I mean, that was my whole thing.
She came in like this, bro. I'm trying to tell you. It's not a
Energy
facade.
on 10.
Right. We gonna hook that up with Kendrick. We gonna get that
She
going.
said, mind your business.
Mind your goddamn business. Literally. So, I mean, that's what I wanted to do. I really kind of, I know how much I struggled as a young mind, like, having all this in my head and not having that outlet. And, it's not like I feel like kids go to school and they play that little clarinet thingy, not the clarinet, you know what I'm talking, the recorder.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute, like, I feel like, there's so many talented young people, and it's like you should have the opportunity to express your creativity in whatever method or manner or channel that you want to do that.
Definitely.
Without being put in a box of, like, you got to learn this recorder today.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so that's what I wanted to do. And so, like, one thing led to another. And so now kids that are through that charter school system, they can get school credit, like, from the state of California for coming and taking the kind of class. Like, you can take a songwriting class. You could take, like, an instrumental class. You can take whatever you want.
Wow.
You know, and I don't believe there's one way to learn. So every single student that I work with, or any of the teachers that I work with,
It
I'm like,
is.
I have a custom-made plan for my students.
You are a musical doctor.
So
for
yeah,
real. That's
she
a
is.
perfect name, for real.
So
Seriously.
another to segue right into that. If you're a kid and
Yeah.
you're really interested in doing all these creative things, how did they get in touch with yourself and everyone that at TMD and what you're doing? If you're a child right now that's listening.
I mean, like, you know, Instagram, I think that was one thing, like, I think through my music, just being kind of like in the industry in general, or like just, you know, kind of being in that musical world, like you have a lot of young people that look up to you.
Right.
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
And I think, you know, it's important to use that kind of that spotlight to do a lot of different type of things. Like obviously you got to pursue your passions, you got to do what you got to do, but it's not just taking, you got to give back.
Exactly.
You got to give back, right? Because that's the next generation of leaders. That's the next generation of like thinkers, doers, all of this. So it's like, what's the energy are you putting not only in your present to grow as like an artist, entrepreneur, as a human, but what are you doing for your future generation to really like
For sure.
live up and rise above?
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So now we're working on like getting, you know, grants, and these kids are going to be able to like, you know, get college credit for actually taking some of these classes.
That's cool.
Yeah. So,
So
Exciting.
you proud about that? You have to be.
I'm really happy because, look, it's a trip to me because I'm happy because I think the kid in me is just like, damn, this is like what I wanted as a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like I had everybody telling me why I shouldn't. And I was silenced for so long until it literally took a breaking point as me as an adult human to break down and then find all these pieces,
Yep.
realize those are not the pieces I need, refine some pieces and build some shit up again. Why would I want anybody to go through that?
Right.
What, like, if you can do something about it, you better be about it.
Now you guys doing K through high school or
I do all ages.
you do all ages?
All ages.
ages.
And we do like online classes. I have like students all around the world.
Wow.
Wow.
Straight up. Different time zones. Like we do online classes. I have like a digital
That's
classroom.
Is there a website?
Yeah, it's TMD Studios. Check it out.
There you go, TMD Studio. We're gonna have it right here. It's gonna be big as hell. TMD Studio right here. Yeah, right here, floating somewhere.
That's
It's
right.
gonna be here.
It will be there.
Absolutely, we will plug that for sure. I mean,
Thank you.
I think that's great, especially when you're giving back to others, and because you completely think about others over yourself,
Right.
which is very admirable. So,
Thank you.
know, I think that's gonna return back to you that love and that gift. So I see many great things.
Thank
in
you
your
so
future.
much.
Yeah.
And we are gonna have an amazing performance by the
ready.
musical doc.
Hey.
So you're gonna have to stay tuned.
You guys stay
Watch to the
tuned.
end.
And check it out. But how can people listen to your music? And where can they
Yes.
find you at?
Dope. I'm actually dropping another single that's coming up next month, so make sure
Okay.
y'all look for it. It's called TMD, so it touches a lot about, you know, this thing called life and this thing that sis has been, you know, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just gonna have to listen to it.
Oh, we can't wait. We can't wait.
But yeah, you can find all my music on, you know, Spotify, iTunes, wherever, whatever you listen to, I'm on there. Check me out at The Musical Doc. That's DOC.
At the musical doc. So we want to say thank you for coming. And listen, this is not the last time you'll be here.
Absolutely.
We look forward to bringing you back on again.
Thank you so
know,
much.
Definitely.
Even if it's not here, Los Angeles, but we'll have you for
Thank
sure.
you so much,
Hey,
y'all.
it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
So we signing off. It's your boy, musical artist Junior Leto.
It's your musical enthusiast Francois the Great.
And creative fanatic, Kate Don't Play.
We out of here.
Tuned for that
Bye.
song.
Luminary Plays next.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Luminary Plays introduces the musical doc.
Way down, drop top, full down. Way up, way down, drop top, full down.
My feelings got me going all the way up. Just drink of my cup, let me unwind the way down. Whoa. Drop top when I'm rolling, they stare at high. Yeah. Fall down, maybe bow down. I hate this is just a style. All those who wonder are not always lies. This is my life, best believe I'll go hard. They don't see color, they living so blind. Wish you could see the rainbow in my mind. Way way down, drop top, fall down, way up, way down, drop top, fall down, way up, way down, drop top, fall down. My feelings got me going all the way. This drink in my cup got me on the way down, 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 down. Drop top when I'm rolling, they staring high. Ooh, ooh, fall down, maybe bow down. I hate this, this is just a style. I don't fit in no mold. The Lord knows they made me feel so cold, all alone. I'm sorry, Mama. I couldn't be another victim of they slaughter. Trying to think that being different means murder. No, no, they talk like they know me. I wish that they knew me. Like, whoop, my feelings got me going all the way. The streak of my cup got me on the way. Down, 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 down. Drop top when I'm rolling, they staring hard. Fall down, maybe bow down. I hate this, this is just a style. All those who wonder, I'm not always lost. Bitches, my life, best believe I'll go hard. They don't see color, they living so blind. Wish you could see the rainbow in my mind. Way up, way down, drop top, fall down. Way up, drop top, fall down. Come on now. Hey. All right, y'all. Didn't know what I started with. Was a whole lot of shit you couldn't keep up with. I pushed and I prayed, hoping for better days. Felt like I was close, you're still far away. I sacrificed all of me, sometimes it got to me. But the journey to me began inside of me. Oh, I had to fall hard and really lose it all. But I picked myself back up and now I'm singing like, ooh, 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 so free, baby, so free lately. My music and love, oh, it keeps me strong, like a warm blanket on a cold night alone. Fire will burn, ocean breeze outside, candlelight dims, oh yeah, it's a vibe. Turn pain to beauty, oh it's just not me. So many of you are fighting like me. Don't ever lose sight or give up your light. Everything's gonna be alright, and baby we gon' sing it like, ooh, 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 so free, baby. Hey y'all, I just wrote that one today. That's a Luminary Sounds exclusive. Shout out to Luminary Sounds. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's the musical doc. We out here.